Eddie Guilford forecasts Bitcoin reaching $200,000 by February, driven by market euphoria, supply demand dynamics, and increasing institutional adoption. Gifford highlights the limited supply of Bitcoin as a key factor in its value proposition, especially as major corporations enter the space, reinforcing the bullish outlook and creating a feedback loop of adoption and price increase.
But it's interesting because when you look at this thing and you look at the cycles and you look at like what typically happens over a 4-year time period, if we're already tracking like very similarly to where we were in 2020, and if everything stays the same, guess what? Mid-February, late February, we could actually see 200,000, not 100,000, but 200,000. There's a lot of if you're willing to swing for the fences, it's a good play. But remember, to go that far that fast, it's going to go up and down, and a 10% day is just normal. So it's not definitely not for the faint of heart, that's for sure.
Wow, down to 80,000 to 100,000 to 200,000. What will drive it? What will drive Bitcoin? And that's not that far away, February.
No, it's
what
not.
What will drive it to that? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think that basically what's going to happen at this point is we have a lot of euphoria heading into the end of the year. We have a lot more adoption that's happening. We have a lot of confidence coming from risk on assets in general. And then we have this thing called supply and demand. And when it comes to Bitcoin and you really start learning about it and reading about it and doing all of this stuff, what you realize is that there is a finite number of coins, and so every single time that someone like BlackRock or Saylor buys Bitcoin, it's reducing the supply to a finite number of coins that's going to exist. And so the more that you start to realize that and understand that, the more that you're like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy supply and demand play, except if everyone decides all of a sudden that Bitcoin is worthless. That doesn't seem to be the point. We've got all the big guns that are in it now. We've got a lot of people talking about it now, and as more and more people talk about it, more and more people adopt it, and as more and more people adopt it, we see these euphoric rises. Now, I'm not saying it ends the year next year at 200,000, but I definitely think that it could hit 200,000 in the first quarter, and then kind of probably just maintain around there. But a lot of it is just, for lack of a better term, I feel like there's going to be a lot of FOMO, and it's going to be running away, and people are just going to keep buying, and it's going to keep on going.
Yeah, understood. And so you would use iBit, from what I understand, as one way to do this. And you have some other names like Tesla on your radar.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're, for the Bitcoin play, the ETFs are just easy. You can use iBit, you can use the FBTC.